Hi, my name is Dr. Ron McDonald, and as Dean, it's my pleasure to host this virtual presentation of graduates in the Faculty of Education for the class of 2020 and the class of 2021. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that the University of Prince Edward Island is located in Epiquet, the Mi'kmaq name for the area now known as PEI, and the traditional unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people of this region. We will now proceed with the granting of certificates, diplomas, and degrees for the classes of 2020 and 2021. It's my honor to introduce the Chancellor of the University, the Honorable Catherine Kalbeck.
As Chancellor of the University of Prince Edward Island, it is an honor to participate in convocation in this online presentation of graduates for the classes of 2020 and 2021. I am very proud of our island university, which excels in educating well-rounded students who are equipped with the knowledge and skills to assume their place in the greater world. Students at UPEI come from Prince Edward Island, every province and territory in Canada, as well as 94 countries around the world. Regardless of where you're from and where you are living right now, I hope that your experience at UPEI was a positive and fulfilling one, and that you'll wear your Panther pride wherever your path may lead you. While today is not the convocation we would have hoped for, I believe it is even more significant because you have completed your degree under circumstances the most difficult the world has known since the Second World War. Each of you has shown fortitude that has strengthened your character and will make you empathetic and compassionate global leaders and citizens. For that, I offer each of you my heartfelt congratulations. I regret that the social aspect of your university experience was so altered because of the pandemic. I, too, have felt the loss of being able to interact and socialize on campus. However, thank you for following the rules and keeping the university, the island community, and your community safe. There are many proud parents, extended family, and friends who are sharing this special day with you. To them, I extend my thanks for the supportive roles they have played in assisting you, our graduates, reach this milestone. I also want to commend the superior commitment, creativity of our faculty, administrators, and staff, who under the strong leadership of the President, Vice Presidents, and Deans have ensured classes could continue during the pandemic so that degrees, certificates, and diplomas could be granted. I sincerely thank all of you for this collective effort. I wish all of our graduates the very best as you embrace the next step of your life's journey. And as certified by the Senate of the University, I hereby award each of you the certificate, diploma, or degree you have earned from the University of Prince Edward Island, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Again, graduates, my congratulations.
Thank you, Madam Chancellor. We will begin with the presentation of the graduates from the class of 2020. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you, in the class of 2020, those students whose names shall be announced individually and whose qualifications have been approved by the Senate for the Certificate in Adult Education, Certificate in Educational Leadership in Nunavut, Baccalauréat en Éducation Français Langue Seconde, Bachelor of Education Human Resource Development, and the Bachelor of Education.
For the Certificate in Adult Education, Sandra R. Arsenault, Susan Bruce, Dominique Chouinard, Mitchell Clark, Ilona Natalie Daniel, Kendra Jean Graham, Marion Punch, Michael Charles Thomas, Aaron William Waddell. For the Certificate in Educational Leadership, Nunavut, Sarah T. Alulu, Sharon A. Andrews, Melissa Ruth Burton, Marjorie Ann Chelsea Landry, Bernadette O'Brien, Charlene Ada Patterson, Claude Alexander Pike. For the degree of Bachelor of Education, Human Resource Development, Dustin Parker Jewell. For the degree of Bachelor of Education, James Gordon Babineau, Patrick Barrios, Catherine Biolo, Nicole Kimberly Blanchard, Jamie Alicia Bonvie, Laureen Barassa, Caitlin Elizabeth Brocklebank, Megan Burns, Erin Olivia Jane Butler, Gerald James Campbell, Amanda Margaret Charlton, Yu Mi Chong, Gwyneth Verna Clark, Lorraine Philomena Coleman, Taylor Marie Collette, Kendra N. Collicutt, J. Jake Collings, Nathaniel Coward, Kaylee Nicole Crozier, Kristen Figliuzzi, Jasmine Grace Frizzle, Emily Marie Gallant, Hope Bernice Gallant, Lorraine Galati, Jake Mark Garland, Julie Elizabeth Ann Goody, Madeleine Roz Veronica Hood, Colleen Ann Hughes, Hannah Sylvia Annie Hunter, Molly Hannah Johnston, Julie Margaret Leger, Grace Elizabeth MacDonald, Brittany Michelle McEachran, Allison McKella, Julian Zachary Martin, Lindsay Sarah McClintock, Kirsten Melnick, Connor Joseph Murphy, Rebecca Jean Painter, Madison Emily Peters, Victoria Ann Rittenhouse, Renee Kathleen Robertson, Leslie Rosen, Matthew Runge, Matthew Schneider, Sammy Jo Diane Sentner, Austin Lynn Shaw, Michael Fizul Sema, Sydney Porter Simpson, Ashley Smith, Glenn Alexander Smith, Haley Alice Mary Sturgeon, Lauren Vandermeer, Nicholas Hendrik Van Overkerk, Shailene Ray Vickerson, Michaela Whalen, Cassia Chanel Wonder, Caitlin Virginia Yaton. For the degree of Bachelor of Education, French, Cassidy Louise Arsenault, Emily Arsenault, Matthew Edmund Arsenault, Lexi Kathleen Grizzly, La Jane Barrow Cavallo, Damien Alexandra Raymond Chevalier Burt, Mohammed Dubory, Emily Forcioni, Joni Fraser, Felicity Cochran, Samantha Marie Lowther, Cassandra Ann LeBlanc, Catherine Helene MacDonald, Melissa Mylène Martel, Sebastian Papineau, Damia Scott, Heather Ashley Simpson, Matthew Robert Smith, Kaylin Bernadette Toner, Alana Ward.
Thank you, Dr. Carolyn Thorne. I'd now like to introduce you to Dr. Rabin Bissesseur, the Interim Associate Vice President of Research and the Dean of Graduate Studies.
Thank you, Dr. MacDonald, Madam Chancellor. Together with the Dean of Education, I have the honor to present to you, in the class of 2020, those graduate students whose names shall be announced individually and whose qualifications have been approved by the Senate for the degree of Master of Education and Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Education.
For the degree in Master of Education, Alexei Abedukalimu, Rajan Altanuk, Christopher Melvin Arsenault, Kelly Lynn Banks, Tiffany Baxter, Darla Jo Bergstrom, Shu Shan Bian, Carrie Edward Brett, Christina Lynn Cashin, Guan Yi Shen, Shu Shan Shen, Shaoxi Shen, Yuan Shen, Jenna Maureen M. Connolly, Melinda May Crowell, Tammy Faye Desjardins, Renee DeVilliers, Denise Diane Dickinson, Jeffrey Walter Dingwell, Deanna Lee Dobbin, Julia Elizabeth Drefts, Jings Fu, Amanda Jane Duncan, Richard Dupre, Andre Adamus Efatio, Alexander Paul Field, Curtis Hayward Fudge, John Nelson Gamble, Hadil Haddad, Harmony Maggie Harris, Jian Feng Fee, Ian Ritchie Little Hogg, Rohan Nehru Hollingsworth, Robert Mervyn Holmes, Patrick Holt, Hai-Ling Huang, Tian Ling Huan, Wen Huan, Heather Krista Jones, Jessica Jowdry, David Kindle, Johanna Jessie Kendrick, Clover King, Russell Leslie Kleinvelt, Glenda Sharon Coley, UT Kong, Tian Yu Hu O, Yomisha Shen Lal, Krista Rose Langell, Jonathan Terrence Lee, Shu Fan Lee, Si Fan Lee, Xiaonan Li, Yu Li, Xishuan Li, Tian Liang, Yu Lian, Allison Susan Ling Gigi, Jingzhao Lu, Yanan Lu, Yiwei Lu, Yu Long, Yuping Long, Zhang Lu, Jason Alfred McDonald, Paul Ronald McKay, Sherilyn McKinnon, Ashley Nicole McClellan, Jenny Catherine Mitten, Amanda Michelle Morrison, Michelle Nanias, Thania Sharon Nassar, Andrew Blake Newcomb, Isabel Olton, Matthew Perry, Ashley Sarah Pratt, Lulu Shu, Christopher S. Rita, Nadassar Paula Reese Denton, Ian Chester Pear Richards, Heather Emily Brial, Benjamin Stephen Savoy, Jennifer Ann Scott, Kate Michelle Sharpley, Yuhei Shi, Nessa Colleen Shipley, Kelsey Dawn Smith, Christy Elizabeth Stetson, Kimberly Studer, Douglas Paul Thomas, Olusoga Ayodele Tomaloju, Alana P. Toole, Tinoch Hutran, Michelle Catherine Trousdale, Vanessa Lily Turner, Carrie Vino, Aaron William Waddell, Di-Fei Wong, Yimong Wong, Shi Wen, Shunxing Wu, Han Shu, Haonan Shu, Shi Anna Shui, Mei-Wei Yu, Lu Chong, Xian Ru Zhang.
Thank you, Dr. Bissesser and Dr. Thorne. We will now begin the presentation of the graduates from the class of 2021. Madame Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you, in the class of 2021, those students whose names shall be announced individually and whose qualifications have been approved by the Senate for the Baccalauréat en langue éducation, français langue seconde, and the Bachelor of Education.
For the degree of Bachelor of Education. Lindsay Eva Marie Barton. Elise Ann Bernard. Morgan J. Bork. Francis Boyd. Christopher Burton. Jessica Violet Campbell. Riley Marie Caravan. Holly Joan Coombs. Maya Davio. Alex Drake DeRoche. T. Adriana Doucette. Monica Lori Down. Lydia Joan Doyle. Victoria Elizabeth Graham. Claire Elizabeth Grinstead. Shelley Lynn Hanson. Nolanda Tiana Hawkins. Alan Clifford Holmes. James Robert Howitt. Tessa Guinevere Janes. Colin Jeffrey. Grant Patrick Joseph Kenny. Isaac Kirkland. Roxanne Joy Kleinveld. Dominique LeBlanc. Megan Elizabeth MacDonald. D. Ryan McEwen. Jacob Ian James McLeod. Rebecca Lynn McLeod. Jacob Cameron McMillan. Megan Lane McTavish. Emma Elizabeth Martinet. Keely Lauren Vinot McGill. Kristen Eileen Dawn McGrath. Amanda Elizabeth Mellish. Samuel Midkiff. Madeline Gwyneth Murphy. Jenny Nicole Much. Connor Peter Myers. Bethany Jean O'Connor. Omag Bolabo Aramidi James Omawumi. Corey Lee Jill Parker. Chantal Marissa Pepin. Anna Therese Pirlo. Bonnie Pike. Gregory Allen Plett. Tegan Jane Pringle. Alicia Catherine Ryder. Allison Saunders. Sarah Saunier. Spencer Stetson. Lorena Lou Super. Tamara Byrne Ulig. Emma Kate Vino. Kristen Visser. Jessica Dita Voss. Linson Wang. Sarah Melissa Woodside. Hannah Rita York. Cheryl Leanne Young. Gabriel Zechariah Darius Young. For the degree of Bachelor of Education, French.
Stephanie Borson Basilet. Bethany Menadora Burt. Natalie Noel Cudmore. Natasha Grace Marie Davis.
Roxanne Gauthier, Selena Patricia Gonzalez Wilson, Marin Alyssa J., Jack Malone, Colleen McQuillig, Alexandra Anna Osmond, Dominique Rivet, Eric Tremblay, Aisha Chanel Angelique Young.
Thank you, Dr. Thorne. And here again is Dr. Rabin Bessesseur.
Madam Chancellor, together with the Dean of Education, I have the honor to present to you in the class of 2021 those graduate students whose names shall be announced individually and whose qualifications have been approved by the Senate for the degrees of Master of Education and Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Education.
For the degree of Master of Education, W. Lewis Andrews, Jillian Catherine Ann Aylward, Kelly Dawn Aylward, Jin Bai, Sanam Bani Hassan, Christine Lynn Barry, Melanie Marie Batten, Brandon Biggers, Jacqueline Marie Borden, Farron Brown, Ainsley Laurel Burke Pickup, Kathleen Victoria Casey, Jessica May Campbell, Robert William Carter, Shi Yu Shen, Yi Jun Shen, Julia Blair Cormier, Peter Clayton Cudmore, Yang Chi Kui, Ong Yang Dai, Gilles Daigle, Kelly Margaret Deacon, Melanie Lynn Desjardins, Tyler Daniel Doucette, Sean James Doyle, John Michael Ellsworth, Megan Catherine Farrell, Ding Yi Feng, Stephanie Elizabeth Ford, Lucille Jennifer Gallant, Jillian Gardiner, Loretta C. Gilbert, Ellen Elaine Gillis, Rochelle Greathouse, Catherine Jane Gregory, Adam Griffin, Brooks Hart, Naulu Tu Huan, Jeremy William Hogan, Bin Hu, Hu Kim Wen, Yun Kong, Annie Lanice, Nanxuan Li, Su Yuan Li, Ling Chao Lu, Ning Ma, Cindy Marie MacDonald, Caitlin Elaine McIntyre, Stephanie Leanne McNeil, Darren Terrence McQueen, Melissa Ann McCrae, Stacy Naomi Daniel Matsumoto, David Mark McNeil, Diane Maureen McNeil, Natalia Mena, Catherine Mills, Kaylee Jane Oakey, Tushi Mary Akbo, Christopher Palmer, Ryan Perry, Nancy Laura Ann Peters, David Stefan Horietas Bedard, Michelle Leanne Rio, Catherine Roberts, Amy Lynn Romard, Abdullah Al-Shakib, Tahani Ahmad Mohammed Salamo, Guy Sequin, Daniel Sharp, Kendra Ann Siliker, Michelle Elizabeth Siliker, Ashley Louise Simpson, Julia Elizabeth Sparrow, Shanice Suzanne Spruill, Lou Sun, Stephen Bino, Stacy Ann Verburg, Jennifer Dawn Watson, Mary Grace White, Katie Patricia Williamson, Wen Yan, Ji In Yu, Ling Wen Zhang, Ming Liang Zhang, Run Yi Zhang, Si Jing Zhao, Yiming Zhao, Hai Yi Zhou, Nicole Renee Zimiansky. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Suha Talia Al-Hothali.
Thank you again, Dr. Bissesseur. Congratulations to all of our Faculty of Education graduates, and special thanks to all of the donors and organizations who contribute a number of graduation awards presented each year to graduates. You will see the full list of award recipients at the end of this online presentation. However, I would like to highlight the Faculty of Education Prize, which is awarded to a graduating education student who has embodied the principles of social justice, collaboration, and global-mindedness, and who has achieved a high level of scholarship and involvement throughout the Bachelor of Education program. Lorene Bourassa was the recipient for the class of 2020. And I'm also pleased to announce that the recipient for the class of 2021 is Tessa Janes. Congratulations, Lorene and Tessa. I'd like to now introduce you to the class valedictorian, Tegan Pringle. Tegan has been one of the most dedicated and committed educators we've had in a long time. Tegan is committed not only to her education and teaching children, but committed to her colleagues. Congratulations, Tegan.
Good morning, fellow Department of Education graduates, family members showing their support, and anyone else joining us to celebrate this important milestone in all our lives. Thank you for tuning in not only from Prince Edward Island, but up to Newfoundland and all the way across the country to British Columbia and even in other countries outside of Canada. I would like to acknowledge that the land upon which we gather is the traditional, unceded Mi'kmaq land and part of the Wabanaki territory. Epgwit, or Prince Edward Island, is covered by the historic treaties of peace and friendship. We pay our respects to the Indigenous Mi'kmaq people who have occupied this island for over 12,000 years, past, present, and future. My name is Tegan Pringle, and I had the pleasure and opportunity to complete my Bachelor of Education here at UPEI this past year in the primary elementary cohort. To begin, I want to mention someone that was very special to us in our cohort this past year, and the devastation that came with her sudden passing. Cheryl Young had an affinity for people, especially children, and already was a model educator after spending many years substitute teaching prior to pursuing her Bachelor of Education. She not only embodied the type of teacher I would like to be, but also the type of mother. Her love for her family was like no other, and with that, we support our peers who lost their mother during these challenging times. To the young family, I hope you know the impact that Cheryl had on all of us. I know that when I face roadblocks in my future, especially in the classroom, I will ask myself, what would Cheryl do? So, this speech is for you, Cheryl, and everyone that's heart and life is a little less full without you in it. In the trying times of pursuing academia and learning to be an educator amongst a global pandemic, it is important to note, accredit, and appreciate all those that have supported us during this cumbersome journey. To all our professors, advisors, and other mentors, thank you for sharing your passion for education and abundance of knowledge with us. We know navigating Zoom wasn't always user-friendly, but you tried, and we can appreciate that. To the Department of Education and UPEI, this year was certainly taxing on not only us as students, but to the entire department, and came with many difficult decisions. We thank you for your work during this strenuous year. To our cooperating teachers that allowed those of us in the Bachelor of Education to enter their classrooms despite the dystopia of uncertain times and unprecedented measures, thank you for sharing, guiding, encouraging, and mostly just putting up with us. To our families that have supported us, including but not limited to significant others, children, parents, and friends, thank you for preventing our apprehension, retiring our worries, and reminding us that the Bachelor of Education is a pass-fail program. This thank you list could proceed until this afternoon's in-person ceremonies, but unfortunately they've got me on a bit of a time limit. So to anyone else who showed your support and compassion through these trying times, thank you. In case anyone missed it, there is a global pandemic happening, and it has been ongoing for over a year now. In the words of Anna Pierlo, you are a cohort bathed in the clear, purifying waters of hand sanitizer, with voices powerful enough to overcome the vocal oppression of masks and the chaos of inattentive students. Never forget that with humor, patience, and the determination not to stand for unnecessary bureaucratic annoyances piled before us as pathetic excuses for obstacles, you can and will conquer the hearts and textbooks of this nation. So here is to all the pantsless Zoom calls and consumption of copious amounts of caffeinated beverages that some days may have had something stronger in them, to learning each other's pets' names before our own peers, but mostly just having to navigate unpredictable and circumstantial challenges that arose during such an idiosyncratic year, such as locking yourself out of the house during a Zoom class only in slippers in the dead of winter. I'll take credit for that one. Throughout the course of this year, we have also been amidst a time of impactful revolution, predominantly that of showing of support for the BIPOC community and the uprising of the Black Lives Matter movement. May we as educators continue to fight and not shy away from teaching and learning about the social injustices of the world. And with that, I would also like to mention my support and solidarity for the Palestine and Muslim community during this deadly and destructive time. So what does it mean to be a teacher? What does it take to be an educator or to work in the minefield of education? Well, it's sure not apples, perfect lesson plans, or pencils, is it? I believe that it is important to be appreciative of the little steps and valuing the fact that all individuals navigate the world uniquely. So no, maybe your student isn't going to win a Nobel Prize anytime soon, but maybe they finally understand something that has been challenging them day in and day out. Or maybe simply having them be present at school is enough. In the education realm, we often get caught up in the need to achieve and believe that we are changing the world. We don't have to change the world, but we do have to show up and be our best selves, even when that's the last thing we feel capable of. It's also easy to be hopeful on a day like today, full of celebration and promise, but there will be challenging days. In the real world, floozy specialization certificates don't always cut it. In many elementary classrooms, they talk about the importance of being kind to one another and filling other people's buckets. The bucket represents a person's mental and emotional self. So let me remind you to not forget to fill your bucket too. Never feel the need to go through any dark days alone. Work to silence irrational thoughts, quiet your worries, and remember that tomorrow is another day, and the world and students need you and your light. To my fellow graduates, thank you for your resiliency, passion, patience, creativity, and to some of you for picking up the slack on group work. We all know that to say this year was challenging would be an understatement, but most of us managed to come out on the other side. Unfortunately, there are some of us whose paths may never cross again. My gratitude for you is extensive, and I will always cherish this chaotic year we have spent together. And I wholeheartedly hope that each of my fellow graduates amongst the department have had the opportunity to connect with and create lifelong relationships during their designated programs. So here is to a future of constant fatigue, stressful report card seasons, and pursuit of further learning and evolving. May we facilitate space that allows for students to grow and prosper, as well as ourselves as educators. May we be encouraging of and model inquisitive and thought and instill a sense of wonder to the world around, and ultimately be accepting of and accentuating the fact that failure is a part of life and a key component in growth, and ultimately the epitome of education. Thank you for taking on such an important and integral career. I only have the earnest and utmost belief that we all have bright and impactful futures ahead of us in the world of education.
Thank you, Tegan, for those inspiring words to your fellow graduates. Class of 2020, Class of 2021, I want to congratulate each and every one of you on your graduation from the University of Prince Edward Island during what has been an unprecedented time. It is likely safe to say that 2020-2021 has been the most challenging time in our history. Graduates, you're adjusting very quickly to a new way of learning, working, and living. You demonstrated resilience, patience, and perseverance. To the parents, partners, family members, and friends of our graduates, I extend a sincere thank you for your unwavering support in our graduates. Your encouragement has been invaluable to their success. I also want to thank our dedicated faculty and staff who taught and mentored our students over the course of their studies, challenging them and preparing them to contribute to society. Graduates, you are now part of an extended family of over 26,000 UPEI alumni around the world. You are Panthers for life. Please keep in touch with UPEI as you go out into the world to reach your full potential. We all look forward to following your success. This concludes our presentation online of our graduates for the classes of 2020 and 2021. Again, congratulations, graduates. We're so very proud of each and every one of you.